This is called the Bale Variant. In order for a virus to take over your life, it has to create variants. Because the body has natural immunization. You're gonna either get a vaccine, or you're gonna get herd immunity, you're gonna get immunized. The human is wired for survival. So in order for a virus to win, in order for the virus of idolatry to win, it's gotta morph. It's gotta shapeshift. It's gotta figure out a variant. And here's what the enemy knows. The enemy knows you way too saved for Satan to knock on your door with a pitchfork and horns talking about bow down and worship me. You way too saved, especially black people. I had a drug dealing cousin, you know what I'm saying? My cousin, I hope Marquise ain't streaming it live streaming. Marquise dealt drugs, probably killed maybe a person or two, you know what I'm saying? Who knows what Marquise done, you know what I'm saying? Like, but you bring a Ouija board around him, he's like, nah, that's the devil. I'm like, he's like, nah, bro, there's a line. That's the line? Black people don't play. Black people like demons? Nah, I'm good. Nah, I'm good. I told Marquise that if he didn't tithe, that he was gonna have a curse. He was like, curse? He was like, yeah, I'll give you 10%. I'm like, black people like, I ain't playing with curses. Curses? Nah, I'm good. The devil knows, you way too saved. But what does the enemy want more than anything else? We know what the enemy wants more than anything else. Worship. He wants worship. It's what gets him kicked out of heaven. His desire for worship. He wants to receive glory instead of reflect glory. Ain't nothing changed by the time we get to the New Testament. Jesus and the enemy have a showdown in the wilderness. What does the enemy say? If you would just bow down and worship me, I'll give you all the kings of the earth. The enemy has lusted for the same thing forever. Worship. I gotta take you to Luke chapter 8 for you to see this. Because for Baal to continue to have power, Baal has to form a variant. Because you ain't gonna worship no God named Baal. But let me show you how the enemy tricks you into worshiping Baal. Luke chapter 8, verse 22. One day Jesus said to his disciples, let us go over to the other side of the lake. So they got into a boat and set out. As they sailed, he fell asleep. A squall came down on the lake so that the boat was being swamped. Next verse. And they were in great danger. The disciples went and woke him saying, Master, Master, we're gonna drown. Now, I love this. Master, Master, we gonna drown. Not we may drown. Not Jesus is a possibility. Context clues would suggest that drowning is imminent. Nah, we gonna drown. I need you to hear the confidence they have in what's gonna happen. I need you to hear their faith. We're gonna drown. But they so saved that they gotta say Master, Master before they tell Jesus that he's not really their master. Master, Master, we gonna drown. Master, Master, you're not really our master. Don't act like you ain't never spent 40 minutes in worship calling him master, only to sit down and let the thing that you're stressed out about claim your heart as master. I need you to see the juxtaposition of the verse. Master, Master, we gonna drown. If I'm really your master, you wouldn't tell me what's gonna happen. Get this, come on, let's keep going. Master, Master, we're gonna drown. He got up and rebuked. Now, this is important because he doesn't calm the storm, he rebukes it. And every good parent knows you can only rebuke that which is in rebellion. Come on. We instruct ignorance, we rebuke rebellion. Come on. Some of y'all had parents that was just like, nah, you just hit them. Like, they don't even know what they're doing. Nah, just hit them. They'll learn. Nah, you instruct ignorance. If my child is ignorant, I have to bring instruction. I can't hold you accountable for what I didn't teach you. I can't discipline you if I didn't instill something in you that is gonna go against the nature that you have, which is to rebel. I've got to teach you first. Instruction comes before rebuke. So if Jesus is rebuking the wind and the waves, then that means they're in rebellion. Which don't make no sense to me, because the wind just winding. Waves just waving, storm just storming. They mind they business, doing what they do. Let's keep reading. Jesus says he got up and rebuked the wind and the raging waters. The storm and all was, here are the words that are very important. Where is your faith? Oh, I need you to get this. Not you don't have faith. If I say, where's your car, that means you got a car. If I say, where's your house, that means you got a house. If I say, where's your husband, I ain't asking you in faith, I'm asking you for real. Where is your husband? I'm just waiting on my Boaz, Pastor Manny. I'm waiting on my Boaz. No, where is your husband? That means you got one. When Jesus says, where is your faith, that means they have faith. Jesus knows how to measure faith. That's not a problem for Jesus. To the centurion, he says, you got great faith. To some people, he says, your faith has made you well. There's other times where this is the biggest backhanded compliment of the Bible. There's one moment where he tells the disciples, y'all got little faith. But then he says, even the faith the size of a mustard seed can move a mountain, which is God's version of saying, I mean, your faith is bad, but it'll work. You know? It's like, this little scrawny faith. All right, we'll take it, though. It's the best backhanded compliment. You got little faith. Okay, let me tell you about the mustard seed and the mountain. Come on, put the verse back up. Get this. He asked his disciples in fear and amazement. They asked one another, who is this? He commands even the and the, and they obey him. Get this. They're not amazed with Jesus until Jesus calms the storm. Anytime Jesus has to jump through a hoop in order for me to praise him, then that means that my master is not him, but my master is the hoop that I made him jump through for me to be impressed with him. If he has to heal you of cancer before you are amazed with him, then that means you're more amazed with cancer than you are amazed with him. They are not impressed with him until he calms the storm. So when he says, where is your faith? Guess where their faith is? We know where their faith is. We're going to drown. Their faith is in the storm. Because what is Baal? The storm god. All throughout the Old Testament, Baal is the god of the weather. He's the god that makes it rain. Baal is the god who makes it rain, and Asherah is the god of fertility. Because what does everybody in the ancient world need? They need their harvest, their crops to grow, and they need their wives to have babies. So they worship not the God that they love, but the God who can do the thing that they need them to do. Because idolatry is always about opportunistic attitudes. I don't love God, I just love the storm being calmed. So if he'll calm the storm, I'll worship him. But if somebody else, but if weed can deal with my anxiety, I'll smoke that. Because I'll answer to the highest bidder. Whoever can fix the problem, that's who I worship. Which means you're not a worshiper, you're an opportunist. Which is the enemy's question to God with Job. Don't you think he only worshiping you because you blessed him? Take all the blessings away, let's see. And God goes, I know Job's heart. Take all of it away, he'll still bless me. We'll say amen, but in the same breath, be like, God better never say my name when the enemy is like, have you considered dinar? Come on, here we go. So what is Baal? What is Baal? The storm god. In all ancient Near Eastern depictions of Baal, he's riding on the clouds. He's got a lightning bolt in his hands. He's a god of the storm. So what does the enemy do? He knows if you walk into a coffee shop and they got a Hindu god on, you're like, don't feel right, I'm out of here. I've been at some place, I've been like, Buddha, Is that a Buddha statue? No, I'm good. I can get Thai iced tea from somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm good. If the enemy showed you Baal, you would never worship. So here's what the enemy does. He wraps himself up in the winds and the waves of life. And now, what is your idol? It's the negative report of the enemy. What is your idol? The doctor's report that's not good. What is your idol? The loan officer's report that's negative. What is your idol? Doubt and fear. Because if Baal doesn't find a variant, he'll never have worshipers. Because the job of the virus of idolatry is to always find a new variant. Because if the virus doesn't find a new variant, he can never infect humans with idolatry. Why does Jesus rebuke the storm? Because it's in rebellion. The enemy has wrapped himself up in the winds and the waves of life. And for some of us in the room, your faith is where your attention is. And here's how I know where your attention is what you talk about. It's all you talk about. You talk about the mountain more than you talk about the God who can move the mountain. You talk about the problem. All you do is vent and complain and talk about the issue, the problem. How about you stop venting and start prophesying? I declare that my teenager will have life. I declare that this prodigal will come home. I declare healing over my body from the crown of my head to the soles of my feet. I'm not going to talk about the mountain. I'm going to use my ability to prophesy over the mountain. I'm not just going to vent, because the problem that you talk about is the problem that you worship.